Good morning. Today I want to share Mark 4, verse 9, which says, "And he was saying, he who has ears to hear, let him hear." I also want to share Psalm 23, verse 3, which says, "He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake." Now, you may think these two verses do not go together at all, but I was listening to the Lord this morning, and he wound up bringing these two verses together so perfectly. So I know he wanted me to share both of those verses. When I read the first one, I was thinking first of how it can be hard sometimes when someone's talking to us to really hear what they're saying if you're busy doing something else, or maybe you're a multitasker, so you're doing a bunch of things. So when somebody is saying something, you may hear them talking, but you're not going to hear everything, or maybe will misunderstand something because you weren't actively listening. And that's what God was first telling me today, is how important it is to actively listen and obey what he is saying. On Sunday, the person who was bringing the sermon asked who had been in ministry for a long time. Like, I think he said 10 years or more. And so I immediately raised my hand because I thought of how I have been singing in a choir or on worship team for over 40 years. And I just love to use that gift, that talent that God has given to me to sing and worship him and then lead others in worship. Then he asked who in the last 3 years have started being in a different ministry. And at first I was going to put my hand down, and God very clearly said no, that I was to keep my hand up, because he reminded me of YouTube and how I do these short, encouraging devotionals every day. Now, I had been sharing on Facebook, so when I heard God telling me, put it on YouTube, I was not keen on the idea because it made me nervous to talk. And it still does. There's many times where I feel like I'm either stuttering to get the words out, or I will stop and re-record because I'm like, oh, I said that wrong, or oh, I stuttered. And, I'm working on letting this be just put it on, start talking, and let God tell you what to say. So because I then kept my hand up, because I realized, yes, I have always felt that this YouTube channel was a ministry, that I was sharing what God had put on my heart. And I feel the same way about putting it on Facebook when I write out what he has put on my heart. And they're, usually very, very, very similar. They're the same thing. But sometimes I will write it out on Facebook and I get to do the video and other stuff starts coming out. And I know that's just God putting things on my heart, because somebody is going to listen to this at some point, and what I was saying is going to be exactly what they needed to hear. And I just knew he was helping me to see, because you listened and obeyed what I told you to do, he has been faithful to use this ministry to encourage and help other people. He continues to give me something to share every single day, and I'm obediently listening even when it's been difficult. So today I just wanted to encourage you to stop and think, have you been hearing God telling you to do something? Maybe you haven't obeyed, or maybe you feel like he hasn't been talking to me. Then maybe stop and think, has there been something that he told me to do and I didn't do it? I said no. Because that will probably make God quiet, because he wants you to obey. He wants us to listen to what I'm telling you and obey it, so that he can continue to lead you and guide you, and your soul can be at peace. So I'm encouraging you, listen when you hear what God is telling you to do. Actively listen for that voice. Obey it, and He will continue to bless you, give you peace, lead and guide you. Have a great day.